As soon as the story begins, we see that some friends are talking among themselves in a group. Among those friends, a girl named Attila tells her friends that the day of the hunt is getting closer, and nothing could be a better idea than killing people. In other words, all these people together were plotting a conspiracy to hunt humans. From here, the scene shifts and a secret location is shown where we see some people. In fact, all of them were members of Attila's group. Just then, there was a man there who looked extremely scared and very nervous, and he was also confused about where he was at that moment and how he had even come there. A man comes near him and tries to relax him, and by sweet-talking him, he makes him lie down on the ground. After making him lie down, he attacks his neck with a pen in a very painful way, causing him to bleed heavily. However, that man tries his best to save himself, but just then Attila arrives there. Attila goes near the injured man and strikes the heel of her sandal straight into his eye, which kills the man on the spot. After the man dies, Attila pulls out his eye using the heel of her sandal. In the next scene, we see a girl who suddenly wakes up in a jungle and her mouth is tied with a belt. Apart from that girl, there were many other people there who had been brought as prisoners. Right beside that jungle, there was an open area, and right in the middle of it, there was a large wooden box lying there. One man goes near the wooden box and opens it, and from inside it, a small pig comes out. Besides the pig, there were also many weapons inside that box, which all the people present there quickly pick up. Among them, one girl finds a key there, with the help of which the belts tied to everyone's mouths are opened. But suddenly, someone starts firing at them, and in that firing, the very first person to die is the same girl who had opened the belts with the key. And the ones doing the firing were none other than Attila's group members. One of the men notices that the firing is being done from quite a distance. A lady tries to run away to save her life, but she falls into a ditch. A man goes there to help that lady, but he sees that she has fallen on spikes. He pulls the lady out, and both of them start running toward the jungle. But just then, the man's foot steps on a landmine, and with a loud explosion, his body is blown to pieces. However, the lady falls back again into the same ditch. Then, another man comes there to help that lady, but her condition had already become very bad because the lower part of her body had been blown away in the blast. The lady snatches the gun from that man and shoots herself, ending her life. After that, the man starts running toward the jungle again. After going a little further, he sees 3 other people. Now, in front of all of them, there appears a huge boundary made of wires. 3 of them manage to cross that boundary quite easily, but one man remains behind. Suddenly, something unknown starts attacking them with arrows. That man moves back again so that he can shoot them with his gun, but he cannot survive for long and is killed by more arrows. 2 grenades are thrown near him, and he dies in the explosion. Now, the 3 survivors reach a shop and meet a man and a woman there. Those 2 were husband and wife and were the owners of that shop. Among the survivors, the 2 men get into an argument with the shopkeeper during their conversation. Meanwhile, the female survivor starts eating the food there, but that food was poisoned, because of which the lady dies. After that, we see that both shopkeepers put on masks and release poison gas in their store, which causes the deaths of the 2 remaining survivors as well. At this point, we clearly understand that both of those shopkeepers were also members of Attila's group. After that, they start cleaning their store and hide all the dead bodies somewhere. They clean the place in such a way as if nothing had ever happened there. Now, they prepare themselves for their next prey. Just then, a girl named Crystal arrives there, and this girl is going to play the main character in this story. Crystal asks them where she is, and she also buys a cigarette from that shop. But when she receives some change in money, she starts getting a little suspicious of both the shopkeepers. Without thinking much, she shoots both of them with a gun and puts them to death. After coming outside, Crystal removes the number plate of a truck. Behind it, there was another number plate, which confirms her suspicion that the location she had been told was wrong. That means she was somewhere entirely else, and she had no idea where that place actually was. Inside that truck, she also notices some wires which were connected to a bomb. Just then, a man named Gary arrives there, and Crystal tells him that the truck might explode. So both of them leave the truck and walk away. A train passes by them, and Crystal quickly boards that train. Gary also gets onto the same train. Inside that train, they meet some other people who were refugees. Gary tells Crystal that all these people are here just to mislead them, but Crystal does not believe his words even a little. After traveling some distance, army soldiers stop the train and take everyone outside. Gary tells the soldiers that all these refugees are fake, but none of them pay any attention to what he says, and they leave. Just then, a man comes near Gary and tells him, "I don't think they are going to believe you." Hearing him speak in English makes Gary very nervous. Then, that man reveals some things. He says that except for him, everyone else there really is a refugee, and those army soldiers were also real. He himself was just an actor who was working together with those hunters. Hearing this makes Gary extremely angry, and he attacks the man and starts beating him. Then he pulls the pin of a bomb and stuffs it into his pants. That man tries to remove the bomb, but it explodes before he can do so, resulting in a very painful death. After that, the soldiers take Crystal to a camp. There, Crystal meets another man who is a prisoner and had somehow managed to escape from there. Soon, another man arrives and takes both of them with him. That man starts praising the hunters, the kidnappers, which makes Crystal suspicious of him. So she throws him out of the car and then runs the car over him, crushing him to death. Seeing him dead, the man who was with Crystal becomes angry and tells Crystal that this man was their last hope who could have taken them out of there. But when they open the trunk of the car, they find Gary's dead body inside. From that, they realize that killing that man was actually the right thing to do. Otherwise, he would have killed them later as well. Now that man tells Crystal that all the prisoners who were brought there had already been killed, and only the two of them were still alive. Crystal tells that man that whoever trapped her there, she will kill them all. To prove her words, Crystal tells him a story about the turtle and the rabbit. But the story Crystal tells is different from the story we have heard in our lives, because its ending is completely different from the real story. In the next scene, we are shown the same ground again where everyone had been brought as prisoners, and along with it, the secret location is also revealed. At that location, there were many hunters, and their trainer was also present there, the one who had trained them to become hunters. And the leader of all those hunters was none other than Attila. Crystal also reaches there with that man, and she shows him the pig that had been released earlier. After that, the pig is found. In order to distract those people, they send the pig there. After that, Crystal enters inside and starts killing those hunters one by one. However, the hunter's trainer, who was still alive, suddenly attacks her and a very intense fight breaks out between the two of them. After a lot of struggle, Crystal finally kills the trainer in a very painful way. Just then, a call from Attila comes. She starts manipulating Crystal and tries to trap the man who was with her. Attila asks whether he has killed Crystal yet or not. Hearing this makes Crystal suspicious of that man as well. Because of this, without thinking much, Crystal kills that man too. She does not even think about whether Attila was telling the truth or lying. After that, Crystal goes to the trainer, who was still alive but badly injured. She asks him for Attila's location, and after getting Attila's location from him, she kills him as well. Now the story suddenly goes 1 year back, where we are about to find out the truth behind everything that happened, why all these hunters were created, and why so much bloodshed occurred. At the beginning of the movie, we saw Attila chatting with her friends, where they were talking about hunting people, but that was actually just a prank among them. However, Crystal and 11 other people, who were later captured as prisoners, had leaked that group chat, and that was the reason why Attila and her friends were fired from their jobs. At first, they had taken the hunt only as a joke, but when such a terrible thing happened to them, they decided that they would actually turn this joke into reality, because they wanted revenge. That is why they set this trap to capture all the people who were involved in leaking the chat. When Crystal finally reaches Attila's location, she sees that Attila is cooking food in her kitchen. The two of them start talking. Attila tells Crystal that she already knows everything about her, and even starts mocking her family background. Then, Crystal tells her that the Crystal she was looking for is not actually her, and that they had kidnapped the wrong Crystal. After that, a very intense fight starts between Crystal and Attila, and both of them get badly injured. But even then, their fight does not stop. After a lot of struggle, Crystal finally kills Attila. By now, Crystal is also severely injured. Just then, she notices that a rabbit is sitting near her. At this moment, the story that Crystal had earlier told that man becomes proven true. In reality, the turtle was Crystal, and the rabbit was Attila. After that, Crystal stands up, eats the food that Attila had cooked, wears Attila's dress, takes her dog, and leaves from there. She then goes to Attila's private jet. After reaching there, she tells the pilot to take off. And with this, the story comes to an end. For more movie explanation videos like this, don't forget to like the video and write "next" in the comments. Thanks for watching.